With the month of December just beginning, you already know what that means. It is the start of SCIAC basketball here in the beautiful and sunny Orange, California. And we got a great matchup for you tonight featuring your own Chapman University Panthers, and they're going to be hosting the Claremont Mudscript Stags in what should be a great men's basketball game this afternoon. And two coaches, very experienced coaches in today's matchup, Dan.
Yeah, first we got Ken Scalmanini with his 25th season here with the Stags with an impressive 432 career wins. Obviously, got some tenure here and can control the guys and is looking to turn around the bad tides.
And for the Panthers, it's got to be head coach Mike Bokosky. In his 30th season now, over 500 career wins, the all-time winningest coach here at Chapman University in its 90-year sports history. And he's going to look to get his guys ready to go for what should be an outstanding game. Well, what's going on, guys? My name is Stephen Hogenkamp, and standing to my left is my man. He's your man. Heck, he's the world's man. It's Dan the Man Batson. How we doing today, Dan?
It's a great day, like you said, sunny and beautiful as we enter this month of December. But like you said, we've got a basketball game up here first, and obviously the Stags and the Panthers coming off of some tough losses. The Stags have had a little bit more time.
Yeah, the Stags had a week off from their last contest in their loss against Carleton, but they're going to look to bounce back in today's matchup, as do the Panthers, who they lost their last matchup against Occidental this past Wednesday. Well, let's talk about today's game and these two teams and compare them both because, Dan, they both have similar strengths and weaknesses when we look at these team comparisons. So, for the Panthers and the Stags both, it's got to be the ability to not consistently shoot free throws. As you can see, Stags under 70%, Panthers under 60%. As a coach, that's got to be unacceptable, and you got to think both Coach Scal and Coach Bokosky are going to right those ships as soon as possible.
And you're talking about unacceptable. Let's talk about these turnovers per game. I mean, we're talking double digits for both teams. You can't be giving up this many turnovers every single time you're coming down the court. Whether that's a steal, whether that's a bad foul, you can't let it happen, as the Panthers are closing in on 15. We've talked about their foul trouble. We've talked about how they, struggle at the line. They can't be giving up turnovers too.
Yeah, it's still early in the season, just 5 games for both of these teams, and they're both going to look to get back on track, especially at the beginning of SCIAC play. Stags, their first conference game of the season. Panthers, their second. But let's talk about the key players, because Dan and I chose 4 key players, 2 on each side, that we believe are going to make the biggest impact in this afternoon's game. Starting with CMS, it's got to be number 2, Josh Engel. Josh has been an absolute workhorse for this Stags offense. Over 20 points a game for him this season. He is their number 1 scorer, only one averaging more than 10 points a game. And look at that, Dan, 38% from behind the arc. That is consistent and reliable if I've ever seen. And then also, it's going to be coming off the bench, number 5, Reed Jones. Now, this is a Stags lineup that consists of 4 seniors, 3 being graduate seniors, and only 1 sophomore in their starting lineup. Reed Jones, just a freshman. He's still getting 20 minutes a game and 8 points. He's providing valuable minutes off the bench. And look at that, 2.6 steals a game. He is going to be a defensive hazard for these Panthers once they get across half court.
Yeah, and we talked about how easy that they're giving up these turnovers, averaging 15 per game. If Reed Jones is on the floor, it's looking like it might get closer to 15. But we've talked about some key players for the Stag. Let's turn it over and look at our very own Chapman men's basketball Panther players and see who we got. But, of course, how can we talk about star players if we're not going to talk about the local hometown hero? Number 2, Cruz Billings, a graduate of Foothill High School. Let's go Knights. This is the guy you're going to be watching all night. He brings the ball up, even through those full court presses. He's averaging 10 points per game. He's shooting almost 50% from three-point land. He plays that three-point guitar a little too much. And, of course, the assists per game. He's the point guard. He's shifty. He's moving. He's one of the most fun players to watch. He brings the energy. He keeps it high. And you know what? Even though he's small, even though he's got a smaller build, it doesn't really ever seem like it. But if we're going to talk about offense, we have to talk about our second key player for Chapman, and that's going to be Blakely Stoughton. He has been their number 1 option. When Cruz Billings is dishing it out, he's dishing it out to Blakely. Blakely is all over the floor for the Panthers. He can shoot the 3-ball. He can get to the charity stripe. He's averaging almost 15 points per game, and he's got a couple of boards to go along with him. you can't scoff at it. He's your main guy. And you know what? As a big man, as a bigger player on the court, when the Chapman Panthers run that kind of smaller ball kind of feel, you want Blakely out there with you.
Yeah, and Blakely really came into his own last season, getting his first opportunity to really play valuable minutes for this squad and averaged close to 15 last season. So look for him to continue that through the rest of the season. All four of these players are who Dan and I believe are going to make the biggest impact. Well, let's go down courtside to our very own sideline reporter, Brianna Tovar, for another perspective. What do you got for us, Brianna?
Good afternoon to everyone tuning in. We've got a very exciting game to cover between the Chapman Panthers and the CMS Stags today. So to kind of recap from the last game, both Occidental and Chapman were a little bit insufficient from the field. And one of the biggest struggles from the Occidental and Chapman was a struggle to protect the paint. So the goal for today is not only to hit those shots that haven't been falling, but to also to tighten up their interior defense. And also on CMS's side, we're keeping an eye on Josh Angle as a key player, who's had some pretty outstanding stats. So hoping to keep those in mind today. So back to the booth.
Thank you so much for that report, Brianna. We'll look to continue to go to you throughout the rest of the game to get more perspective on this contest. But Dan, let's keep talking about Josh Angle because, yes, he's the leading scorer, but there's just so much more to it. This guy has really been almost their entire offense this season.
Yeah, I mean, we had our first opportunity to really see him in action here during warm-ups today, and as we even went before live, I said, wow, that guy's looking pretty fluid. There's just sometimes these guys with a kind of swagger, some kind of confidence with the ball. Josh Angle has exactly that. He's got a quick release like we were talking about, and I think that's the reason why. He just plays with that confidence, with that swagger, and it shows in the stats. They like to go to him. He can really run the ball well, and I think it's going to be important to keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, and both of these teams offensively haven't really gotten into their stride so far this season. I got it, but on the defensive side, both teams are very locked in. I got to think this is going to be a low scoring. It's got to be and going to be a close matchup. These two teams, they met each other numerous times being in the same conference. So I got to think they're going to bring the energy from both sides. It's a Saturday. We're getting close to the end of semester. These guys are ready to fight, and it's going to be close to the wire. I got it being a really low-scoring game today.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and like you said, it is final season. Finals are coming up, and not to mention, these are student athletes. These are people studying for finals, working hard just like us up here in the booth, and then going and playing a basketball game on the weekends, during the week. It's pretty amazing to see, but I think you're right. I think there is a sort of energy here. There's always been a good rivalry between the Stags and the Panthers. I think we're in for a good game, but a physical game as well.
Yeah, and if we haven't mentioned already, it is a doubleheader today. We got the men's game at 2 p.m. today, and then shortly after conclusion, we're going to go to the Chapman women's team where they'll face the CMS, the Athenas. And we got a great crew on tap today. Big shout out to them, the Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network crew, staying locked in all day, putting in the valuable effort that we need to produce a great broadcast for our viewers, for our fans, for the families out there who love to watch Chapman Sports. Give a big shout out. You can see the control room right there giving a big wave. Shout out to our director, Ben Sherman, and our first time producer, Javier Serrano. Just big shout out to both of them. They're putting on an amazing effort in today's game, and we just can't wait to watch just such an amazing effort. As we mentioned, it's the beginning of the season. Just 5 games in, they still got 20 plus games. It's still early in the season, but in conference play, you really got to lock it in.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have any chance of going into those SCIAC championships, these early games matter just as much as when you're getting down the line in the season. So obviously, we talked about it a little bit earlier. The Chapman Panthers struggling at home so far, 0-2. They hope to turn it around here, while the Stags want to pick it up and get off that losing streak.
Yeah, and definitely for the Panthers, as you mentioned, Dan, 0-2 to start the season at home. And this is a crowd, here at Hutton Herald Sports Arena, we normally have that big crowd advantage for us, and we're going to look to get that up, get that intensity up, to get these guys up ready to play, because we really need that home court advantage whenever an opponent comes and visits our arena. 3-0 on the road, 0-2 at home. It's kind of vice versa. Kind of the opposite of what you would think, but we're going to look to get that first win at home today.
Yeah, I think they do have a good chance here. Like you said, it'll be low scoring. It's going to be some scrappy basketball, and I think that's going to make for a great game to watch for our fans at home and especially us up in the booth.
Yeah, but we're just getting close to tip-off here, so we're going to send it down to the court for our very own national anthem.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Hutton Sports Center for today's SCIAC basketball contest between the visiting Claremont-Munscript Stags and your Chapman University Panthers. Now, we ask that you please rise if you're able to move your hands as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. Today's starters first for the visiting Stags. At guards, a 6'3" graduate student from Lake Waukegan, Oregon, number 2, Josh Engel. At guards, a 6'5" graduate student from LA, number 11, Caleb Jones. At guards, a 6'5" graduate student from Glenville, Illinois, number 14, Will King. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Orinda, number 24, James Fry. And at center, a 6'9" graduate student from Sudbury, Massachusetts, number 42, Red Carter. The head coach of the Stags is Ken Scalmanini, assisted by Chris Ford, Mike Wells, and Gio Hennessy. And now let's meet the starters for your Chapman University Panthers. Starting at guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Santa Ana, number 2, Cruz Billings. At guard, a 6' senior from Woodbury, Minnesota, number 3, McKinley Robertson. At guard, a 6'3" junior from Denver, number 10, Blakely Stoughton. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Mission Viejo, number 13, Jake Everly. And at forwards, a 6'7" junior from Danville, number 30, Adam Damien. Head coach of the Panthers in his 31st season, number Mike Bogowski, assisted by Dan Gregorian and Steve Woodrussman. Fans chanting words at the NCAA encourage all business and spectators to conduct themselves at the highest level of sportsmanship. Anyone detracting from a positive atmosphere and disrespectful comments or conduct, we can move from the event. Thank you for your cooperation and please enjoy the game.
So as you can see, Dan, same lineup that the Panthers put out this past Wednesday with both Blakely Stoughton and McKillery Robertson in to the starting lineup. And then for the Stags, it's going to be a new entrance into that starting lineup. I mean, number 11, Kalen Jones, into that starting lineup. So both teams putting something out new because they're trying to right that ship, trying to bounce back from a loss. We'll see how it works out for both of them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the Stags running 4 guards, 1 center. Maybe going to try to push the perimeter there a little bit more as we're getting ready for tip-off here, but just a quick look at the starting lineup. Some of those guys are out there for us, but McKillery Robertson and Blakely Stoughton will be stepping onto the court as the Stags win the tip.
As the Stags win the tip, we'll work into their offense. Make sure to watch out if you're a Panther fan for the Stags number 2, Josh Engel. As we mentioned, over 20 points a game this season. This is King inside to Carter. Good feed. Easy bucket right there.
Finishing with some contact, but make sure you watch Josh Angle and how he moves off the ball. That's going to be incredible to see. He's going to try and find some openings as McKillary Robertson has to give it to Damien here.
Damien inside through 2 defenders, can't get it to go. That's Angle coming down with the rebound, pushing it down court. He'll find King right there. Chapman did a good job getting back in transition, something they really struggled with early on in this season.
And this is where fundamentals are key. You don't want to give up any silly passes like that one. But that one's
to go right there. Yes, that's Fry right there, unable to connect. Big break for the Panthers right there, looking to capitalize. This is Stoughton in the corner, working down through Carter, can't get it, no foul. Damien comes down with the rebound. Out to Billings, Robertson. Ball gets through Damien to Stoughton. Just got 10 on the clock now. Billings working on Angle. Can't get the ball, can't get the shot, but gets the foul call. And Cruz Billings will go to the line now for 2.
Yeah, we talked about how shifty he is, how he can move the ball. Obviously, some good ball control there, taking it into the paint and going up against a guy with a lot more size than him, but drawing the early foul, taking him to the line. But let's see. Let's hope they practiced a little bit on their free throws and improving from that near 50% make percentage.
Yeah, Billings this season, as he misses there, has struggled early on. Came into this game just over 30% at the free throw line. As a point guard, you definitely want to have better than that at the charity stripe. These are free opportunities for points. He connects on the second one, so Panthers get on the scoreboard. King will bring the ball up. Into Angle, have yet to see him put up a shot yet, but like you mentioned, Dan, off the ball movement, very important. Carter, good backdoor feed inside to Fry, back out to Carter. He'll pull up, he'll get that one to go.
That's a great shot there. No hesitation, rising to the occasion, using his size there as McKillary Robertson with the step back.
Can't get that one to go. Damien, though, with the rebound. Another offensive rebound for him. Billings, he'll pull up from 3. Can't get it to go, but foul on the call right there. Billings will go to the line for 3.
These boys, I think, are starting to feel the confidence, letting the ball fly a little bit. 2 step-back threes there. Obviously, Billings with some contact afterwards. Going to go to the line for 3 chances here. 1 and 2 to start.
Yeah, it's just like that saying goes, shooters got to shoot. Got to have that confidence right there as Billings connects on the first. We saw him on Wednesday, Dan. He was really their offense in that first half, and McKillary Robertson did not have the game that he would wish to have in his first start, going 0 of 8, but like to see him early on with that confidence in that step-back 3.
And, you know, we saw McKillary on that UC Santa Cruz game be a weapon on offense, so I think he's going to hope to turn it around here.
Yeah, so Billings goes 3 of 3 right there at the line, tied at 4 here. Just 2 minutes have passed in this first half. Robertson, guarding Angle, tips the ball away out of bounds. And they're going to say it goes off number 13, Jake Heberly.
And you can see already they're playing that tight defense, not going for zone here, going for man, and they want to make sure that they lock Angle early, but Angle moving off the ball well.
Gets both Stoughton and Robertson off their feet, kicks it out to King, working on Heberly, trying to find the backdoor feed, but Stoughton is there to intercept it. Man down right there, he'll kick it out to Heberly. 4-3, splash! Jake Heberly!
You can't ask for a better possession than that. Blakely Stoughton grabbing the steal, reading the offense, takes it coast to coast, finds an open man, and Jake Heberly executing from three-point land.
Yeah, what a season so far for Heberly, the sophomore, 36% from behind the arc. Angle working on Damien, and Damien gets a piece of that. Great defense down low.
And that's what you want from your bigs there, staying on your feet as long as possible, not allowing any of that body contact and locking down Josh Angle. It's a great start for the Panthers defensively.
Damien will pull up from 3, can't get that one to go. Fight for the rebound, goes to Billings, free throw line jumper. A little short on there. Stags will take over on possession.
That one looked a little bit forced there. Obviously no hand in Billings' face, but the release just did not look natural to me there. I think he was trying to toss something up and wasn't really feeling it, as now the Stags have an opportunity to respond.
Angle now with the ball. The taller Stoughton on him. Working on step back. Can't get that one to go. Heberly collects the rebound. Chapman now on the attack. As Billings working down low, ball gets away from him. They're going to say it's off on a CMS player, so he'll stick with the Panthers. Great defense early on from them.
Yeah, like you said, this is going to be a scrappy game, and it's looking like it so far. Only 11 points on the board, but it seems like the bench for the Panthers is getting into it, bringing the energy. It's what you need when you're on the court, and some people say that's the sixth man is the energy, the crowd, bringing it and supporting the team.
As Robertson, great job on that jump shot, and Dan pumping his fist right there. He loves that shot from McKillery Robertson.
McKillery Robertson is my guy on the court right now, and I know his midi that's what he wants. Right there, 2 dribbles, taking it, rising to the occasion, and swishing it like that. And obviously the Stags do the same there.
That's Kalen Jones. Looks like Damian forgot his man down low. So Jones now on the scorecard. 9-6 Panthers, just past 4 minutes. That's Robertson, though, for 3. A little strong on that one. Carter will collect yet another rebound.
And obviously trying his luck from three-point land as now, oh, a big block.
Adam Damian slamming that one off the backboard. Chapman now on the attack. 2 blocks early on for Damian.
You can't ask for much more in the paint there as now Jake Heberly looking for an option on the three-point arc.
This is Robertson now. Back out to Damian. He'll pull up again from 3. Splash! Adam Damian.
Can't ask for much more from your big there. You've got a guy who can defend the paint, play against the big boys, and then go out to three-point land and drain it like that. I mean, what more could you want from Damian?
Just a dual threat player. Is now Damian on Carter. Little push off, and they're going to say offensive foul on Carter. Damian doing it on all sides.
I mean, I'm doing my best impression up here of that ref. Obviously, the elbow's coming out a little too much, a little too physical there as now the Stags take a timeout.
No, we're actually going to immediate timeout, I think, here, Dan. Yes, it's a topic for another day for me and Dan to discuss. But, Dan, what a job from the Panthers so far. The Stags got out to an early 4-1 lead, but since then, Panthers have scored 11 of the last 13 total points.
Yeah, we've talked about staying on your feet, staying gritty on defense, and that's exactly what the Panthers have done. It's a moment where you've just got to stick to your fundamentals. I was saying it during our last game that we were doing. We actually came here with our class, and we were talking about it, but that was something that Panthers are really struggling with, and I think Coach Bukowski may have had them on the line a little bit, may have had them running a little bit, but it's looking like a completely different team out there defensively.
Yeah, and we see if we see on this replay just an outstanding job from Damian, knowing that Carter's going to force his momentum down low, giving up his body for his team. Look at that. What an effort from Adam Damian, not trying, maybe a little sell there. Maybe we could pass him an Oscar after this game, but what a job from Adam Damian. You can see early on this defensive game plan is they want to get the ball out of Josh Engel's hand. Every time he's gone down low, they double him down there. He's 0 of 2 to start. Hopefully he does not get hot if you're a Chapman Panther fan, but what an outstanding job we've seen so far for the Panthers.
Yeah, holding him to what he's been doing so far and bringing in the defense. Obviously the Panthers are aware of what a threat he is, and keeping it to a 6-point lead early here, 5 minutes through this first half, you really can't complain as a Panther fan. If you're the Stags, you're looking to turn the momentum here. You're coming out of this timeout and you're saying, don't let them run their offense. Try and find new ways to score down low.
The Panthers will go in their offense outside of this timeout, and they're going to get Rhett Carter there for it. Actually, that is a new entrance as Cahal Connolly entering in for the Stags. 6'9" sophomore out of Oakland, California. As the shot clock will reset to 20. Stoughton up top, Damian. Still the same 5 for the Panthers out on the court. That's Heberly. No hesitation. And just a little off on that one. Out of bounds. Will go back to the Stags.
But I like the confidence, having the ability to see your man slacking off a little bit, taking the shot. It looked online from up here in the booth, but obviously a little wide to the left.
So the Stags will take over now. Just about 14 minutes left to go in this first half. Chapman leading 12-6. Good defense right there from Damian, all over the score sheet right now. As the Panthers look to attack, Damian back up top to Billings. Stoughton thought about that 3. He's got Engel. through 3 players. Can't get that one to go. Connolly with the rebound.
And that's one of those moments there. If you're Blakely, you're seeing 3 men go up as he tries to contest that one. And maybe you dish it out there and get it away as now the Panthers back on offense. Stoughton driving to the paint. Through contact, and it's good.
Yeah, it was really good job by the Panthers. And I think what we've seen early on from the Stags is when the Panthers get into that half-court offense and they get down low, the Stags defense collapse. Meaning there's going to be some open players on the wing for the Panthers. Look for that. So here's Connolly working on Damien, backing him down, and he'll get that one. A little too easy right there from Connolly.
Yeah, that's just what I like to call the weight room. Had a little bit more time in the weight room there, a little bit more size, and backed him down into the paint, and a little hook, and got it to go.
14-8 now. Panthers leading. Stoughton, no hesitation, 3. Money! Blakely Stoughton!
Cha-ching! Blakely Stoughton had no regrets there. Obviously, a little bit of a hand contest there, but Blakely Stoughton said, that doesn't faze me too much, as now the Stags down 9 as they're going to try and attack the paint here.
It's Connolly right
good.
there. So the bigs for the Stags have combined so far for 10 of their first 12 points. Here's Robertson. He'll pull up from 3. Connects McKillary Robertson.
Cannot complain about that. The Panthers really finding their stride here. We talked about how well they're shooting the 3 ball. Almost 50% from beyond the arc here. You can't ask for much more, and they've got to keep pounding those shots if they want to keep this lead up. Now double digits, 20-10 here. I believe that is more points than we saw almost in the entire first half this past week.
And Robertson and Damien will exit. Andrew Ingles, as well as Connor Steck-Schulte, will enter in for the Panthers. Working down, Jones over Stoughton. Can't get that one to go. A little long on that. Panthers will take over. Leading by 10 already. 8 minutes into this game. Steck-Schulte. Work off his man. Back up to Stoughton. 17 on the shot clock here. That ball's tipped away out of bounds. And it'll stick with the Panthers.
Yeah, I think one of the guys you should be watching is on your screen now, number 11, Kalen Jones. I was watching him in warm-ups a little bit. Had this weird ripped shirt on, and was a nice guy when I was down there, but definitely had some bunnies in his shoes. Was absolutely throwing down the ball, doing some back scratchers, doing some one-hands. I think it'll be cool to see if he gets on a fast break here somewhere, but that could be the thing that changes this game for the Stags. Having the momentum, having the energy, they need a big play. That's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to make the Stags really shine here. Is they need some energy, they need some momentum going.
And we also saw right before we went to that media timeout, new substitution for the Stags, one of our key players, Reed Jones. And Dan, I mean, early on, this Panthers offense is looking like that Panthers team just 2 years ago. That team that was an absolutely insane from behind the arc. And I love seeing this team show no hesitation shooting from behind the arc. And let's take a look at that, some replay, before this break. I mean, this Panthers squad has just done an outstanding job. Look at Stoughton kicking out, that ball tipped away. Hard call for the ref to make. I got to think he made the right decision. I was thinking it went off Jones, but team's done a really good job of, like you said, no hesitation from behind the arc. They struggled just going 8 of 31 their past game on Wednesday, and already so far in this game, they're 4 of 8.
Yeah, and that's amazing to hear. Obviously, starting off really cold on the game on Wednesday against Oxy. Now the Panthers playing arguably the tougher opponent, the Stags, and starting much better. This is a great setup for success, but got to keep it up. Can't let off the gas at all here.
Well, Billings now, just 6 on the clock. Pull up from 3, just a little short right there. Engel will connect on that. He'll flip it out to King. Stags now looked like they were trying to play with some tempo, but the Panthers got back quick in time. King now working on Heberly. To Jones, back out to King. Inside, Connolly working on Ingles. Can't get that one to go. Fight for the rebound, and Jake Heberly will come out with it. Panthers now taking over.
Looked like he wanted the call there as the Stags now moving towards the zone. Blakely Stoughton with a 3 ball.
Hot start for Blakely Stoughton, already 3 of 5 from the field and 2 of 2 from behind the arc. That's 8 points for Blakely.
one of our key players for tonight's game. Can't say we didn't tell you so.
And it looks like we're going to get a foul on Angle. Cruz Billings putting his body on the line.
And that'll be important to remember. We got to watch and see how many fouls Angle's going to get. Obviously, he's going to go take a seat. Well, it looked like he did, but then he comes back just giving a quick little high five. But if he gets in foul trouble, that's the Stags' main scorer. Not sure where the Stags really go if Angle is not on the floor. If he fouls out, if he's in foul trouble early, it'll be interesting to see where they pivot to, and I think it might be their bigs.
So Rhett Carter will enter back in for the Stags. As Fry also enters back in. This is Steck Schulte, and they're going to say, took a couple too many steps right there.
Yeah, obviously didn't put the ball down before he took that first step. It's always a tough one, but this is what we talked about. Turnovers, can't let them happen, and we're pretty good about it so far, but don't want to let them start now.
As Rhett Carter, free throw line jumper, can't get to go. Stones
just flying
springing into there. This is Kyle Lewis also checking in for the Panthers, number 4.
Wonder if he drank some Red Bull before today's game. Seemed like he grew some wings there as McKillery Robertson now trying to find an option.
Took me a little bit to get that reference right there. Well, here we go, Stowe in double team. He'll kick it to Ingles. Working down on the smaller angle, gets it to go. Andrew Ingles, that's got to feel good. He's had a little struggles this season, but good for him to get on the board quick.
And that's what you want from your bigs. You want them down low, you want them drawing the attention, and then finishing through contact. You can't ask for much more there from Ingles, as now a foul on Blakely Stoughton. Seem to be holding on to a Stag there a little too long.
Yeah, we've seen so far the game plan for the Stags is that triangle offense, getting it down low to their big, and they get a little backdoor cut right there. This Cruz Billings will enter in for Stoughton.
Cruz Billings averaging about 35 minutes a game. He is on the floor all the time. He just had a quick little break, maybe a sip of water, and he's like, all right, I'm ready to go again. And that's why he's so integral to this team. I really do feel like he's the heart of this team.
For your math majors out there, that's 87% of every game that Cruz Billings is on the court as Robertson gets a steal for the Panthers. Here's Billings now. Double it in the corner. The newly checked in Kyle Lewis. Robertson, step back, 3, cash! McKillery Robertson.
That is my guy. You cannot feel better than that. It's not a catch and shoot. It's a catch, a dribble, a cross, and then a big 3 as that one still in possession of the Stags. Josh Angle got to be feeling some kind of way right now. Nothing working for him.
Yeah, Josh Angle, no points, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls also. He's early in foul trouble, but like you mentioned, Dan, he's got to stay on the court for them. Here's Rhett Carter, a little strong on that easy shot. Can't get it to go. Panthers now on the attack. Already up 18 here early in this first half, as they're going to say Kyle Lewis, once again, took travel a little too far right there.
Just a couple steps too much. And we see it all the time in the NBA. No, not a lot of refs are calling that, but here in the NCAA Division III SCIAC game here at Harold Hutton Sports Center, that one's getting called.
The Stags will take over now on offense. This is Carter working on Ingles, backing him down. Carter gets that one to go. Ingles could not contest that one well enough.
I mean, Carter just made it seem like there was nobody even in his way. Backing him straight down in the paint and giving it an easy option is now Ingles maybe looking to make something work here with Billings.
This is Billings now. Floater gets that one to go. Cruz Billings. Panthers already at 30 points, just 12 minutes into this first half.
From a Knight to a Panther, Cruz Billings is quite honestly probably the best player that we've seen right now. Working the offense, passing, scoring, dribbling and bringing it up. And on defense, it's nothing to scoff at either.
Missed shot right there from the Stags. Robertson takes over. It's Kyle Lewis, back out to Robertson. Got a big lineup out for the Stags. That's Robertson. Step back again! McKillery Robertson!
Okay, if Cruz Billings is the heart of this Panthers team, McKillery Robertson is the teeth, the fangs, whatever you want to call it. They are gripping into the Stags right now and just destroying them offensively.
Looks like they're going to call a flopping technical on Andrew Ingles, newly added foul just a couple of years ago. But, you know, Dan McKillary Robertson, just what? After just probably his worst game of the season last week, he has bounced back in such an amazing way. He's showing shades of what Panthers saw in Hayden Moore just a couple of years ago.
I mean, like you said, going 0-8 on Wednesday against Occidental, and then coming out here and scoring 4 for 6 and 3 3-pointers from three-point land. 3 for 3 for 3. Come on. You can't really scoff at that at all. I mean, it's a complete 180. And you got to think, what did maybe Coach Bukowski tell him? Or maybe Coach Gregorian over there? Those guys are both coaches that have been with this team for a long time, have some tenure, probably got some great experiences to talk about. And you just got to wonder, what did they maybe say during those practices in the huddle to say, get out of that rut?
Yeah, but it's just got to be that it's one game. You got to forget about that game on Wednesday and to come out to a new game. And I think right now in this huddle, you got to tell them to not stay complacent. We've seen in basketball leads blow really quick, and we've seen that they can just diminish just like that in a snap of a finger. And I mean, let's take a look at this replay. Just outstanding effort. You can see from the Panthers, 6 of 11 from three-point line. Look at McKillary Robertson. I mean, we talked about his game, his fadeaway jump shot from the perimeter, Russell Westbrook-esque. Now we're seeing him line it up from 3. It's just an outstanding effort early on for the Panthers.
And if you're the Stags, what do you really do against it? You know he can pull up from three-point land now. You know he'll take a couple dribbles and destroy you from the mid-range. You know if he ditches it out to Heberly, Stoughton, even Damien, those are guys that will knock down the tray. So it seems like there's not even a lot you can do here, as now it looks like the Chapman Panthers will be inbounding.
Panthers will go back out to their starting 5, and you saw in that graphic, Panthers so far out rebounding the Stags. That's one of the biggest issues they've had earlier this season, is controlling the paint down low. And they're going to say Stoughton traveled there. Already 3 travels for the Panthers. Another unforced error.
I mean, you got to think these boys do practice their dribbling, but 3 traveling calls in the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes, unacceptable. Can't happen.
This is Reed Jones now inside to Carter. The ball might have been tipped, but they're going to call a foul. Damien was trying to draw the charge from Jones. They're going to call the foul on Damien. Really good effort from Damien. It was like an unintentional contest from him. Kind of was just sticking his arms out and got a piece of Carter.
Yeah, I think it was a good call. Obviously, probably a little bit more contact on the body there as Carter sinks the first one. But Damien working well in the paint so far, but it just seems like the Stags have a bit more size. They might be grad students, might be a little bit older, but they've made it seem like sometimes he's not even there, just backing him up.
So Carter goes 1 of 2 from the line, as he does on average, just about 53%. As this is Heberly. It's good, Jake Heberly.
All right, whatever these guys are doing in practice to practice the three-pointers, they gotta give it to me. I got rec league this weekend. I got some boys who are pulling up. I need to know what these guys are doing.
We got to drink what they're drinking right now, as this is Carter working on Damien. Unable to connect there. Rebound Fry. He can't get in. Damien will come down with the board. Panthers now on the attack, trying to increase their lead. Heberly, 3. It's good! Jake Heberly! Another 3 from the Panthers.
This is insane. I've never seen this team convert so much from three-point land in so many different situations, whether it's in transition, whether it's in a set, on a step back. What more could you want? Is now the Stags are just struggling to find anything.
This is Jones from 3. Can't get that one to go. Panthers will take over on the push now. This is Blakely Stoughton to Damien. Panthers 9 of 14 from behind the arc. Billings lines it up. 3-pointer off to the side, and they're going to call an over the back on Stoughton.
Definitely an interesting call there. Didn't see too much contact on the rebound there, as now another timeout coming through.
And so the Panthers will go into this timeout up 23 points. As mentioned, now 9 of 15 from 3, but once again, for you math majors out there, 60%. Now, as a team, shooting 35 to 40% is really considered elite. That's considered an elite production from behind the arc. 60%? That's borderline unguardable right there, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like the Stags have any answer for it, but let's take a look at this replay here. Obviously, Chapman firing on all cylinders in every way.
You see this, Jake Heberly, I mean, the defender is right on him. There's nothing you can really do, but that's Heberly's spot. Both corners, that's where he likes to shoot them. There we go. Stags will get the ball out of this timeout. Panthers leading 39-16 here. Up top to Jones. Seen a lot of minutes early on from him. He's working down, flips out to Connolly. Panthers wanting a travel right there. Now this is Kalen Jones. Can't get over Damian. Jones comes down with the rebound, pulls up, can't get that one.
And we talked about Reed Jones coming off the bench, trying to make an impact, both defensively and offensively. But Reed Jones seeming to get a foul there. Gonna shoot for 2 here now, but he's averaging 8 points per game. But let's talk about those 2.6 steals per game. Let's see if he can really work a little bit more defensively, as there's no stop here for the Panthers, really.
And it's this free throw shooting that he's really struggled with, just in the small sample that he's had here.
And
coming into this game, just 20%.
You can see Coach Bukowski, vocal, walking around the court. You know, he's been doing this for 30 years. You know, if I'm his player, I'm trusting him. Whatever he's saying, I'm trusting him. But Coach Bukowski doesn't even seem happy just yet with this lead. You'd think you'd be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, can't stay complacent. This is Robertson. In the corner, Steck Schulte for 3. A little short on that one. Heberly fighting for the rebound, and he gets it to go. Robertson back out to Heberly. 13 on the clock, Steck Schulte. Turnaround, back out to Billings. He's working down low, and he gets swatted down low on multiple Stags players.
If you're a Stag, you got to be pretty happy with that. Protecting the paint well. Obviously, Cruz Billings, absolutely surgical from the three-point line, getting into the paint, but a couple big bodies up there. Tough to really find a shot, as now the shot clock counting down as Heberly kicks it to Robertson.
Got to put it up. Robertson, that one might have been tipped. Does not matter. Shot clock violation. Also for the Stags, entering in, it's number 22, Will Hausholter. He'll check in for number 2, Josh Engel. So we'll see where this offense goes. You could see Coach Skal Manini. Where will he go with his offense with his star player out?
Yeah, you got to think he's been drawing up plays, making things work with Josh Engel in mind all year. And now the Panthers come out of nowhere and shut him down, as his bigs working well in the paint as that one rims out.
Fight for the ball there. Scramble out of bounds. They're going to say off Heberly. And love to see the great effort, intensity from both of these squads. You gotta love to see it. Just being a fan of sports.
Yeah, we talked about this being a scrappy game, and it's exactly what we're getting. No team is giving an inch, and that's really what you want to see. You want to see that competitive nature. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't really represent that, but you can surely see it when you watch.
This is Jones now. He'll kick it out. Connects right there from 3, Kalen Jones.
Kalen getting his first 3 of the night. He is happy with that one, wants to get it to go, as now Cruz Billings trying to run his offense.
Damian working down low. He can't get that roll. Just the first made 3 of the afternoon for the Stags. Now 1 of 3. This is Hausholter. Chapman wanted another travel there. Is Reed Jones spin out of bounds? Yes, they're going to say it did touch the line. Turnover, Stags. They're 6th already. Looks like that'll take us to our final media timeout of the half. Chapman up 18 points right now. Dan, little slow out of that last timeout for the Panthers, but you gotta love the effort that they've put in this first half from both the offensive and defensive side. And like I've mentioned, they're not complacent right now. They want to up this score even more.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what you need to do. Obviously, you're coming off of a pretty rough loss to Occidental earlier in the week, and this is a completely different team. And, you know, we talked about momentum. We talked about why it's so important. This is the momentum you want. Let's take a look at this replay. Now here, this is going to be one of the moments we just saw from Chapman.
Yeah, Reed Jones was the one that got credited with that block, just swatting it away. He's almost at, we talked about his steals. He just almost had a block a game so far this season. Got to mention again, he's just a freshman. He's playing with a very experienced and veteran-led squad in CMS. So got to love to see him getting that valuable experience early on.
Yeah, and obviously you can see that the Panthers are coming out of this timeout, and you got to wonder, what is Coach Bukowski saying? Is he saying continue to push the pace, maybe slow it down and run your half-court offense a little bit more? But they've had success both in transition and in the half-court set, so we'll see what they decide to do here. Obviously, Cruz Billings still on the court, getting his time and putting in the work. Like I said, he's going to be your guy to watch, and we're going to see what his magic he can pull off here with Robertson.
Well, that ball tipped away from Robertson by Hausholter. Chapman will retain. Damian up top to Heberly, looking for Billings in the corner. And a little miscommunication. And it looks like that's going to be a backcourt violation for the Panthers. So if you're Coach Bo, not what you want to see outside of that timeout.
Coach Bukowski already on his feet, talking to his players, saying, let's lock it down here. But you're in a great position if you're the Stags. You've got the ball on the inbound, on the baseline. You can run a play. You can see what you can draw up. And that one to Reed Jones is done perfectly, but that one just lips out.
Now this is Hausholter up top, working on Robertson. They're going to say it was a non-shooting foul. So for Robertson, it's going to be his first foul. And, in that timeout, we just have 4 minutes left in the half, I think head coach Mike Bukowski was telling his squad, we got to finish this half strong. We have to go into the locker room with momentum, because we saw just a couple years ago in this same matchup in the SCIAC quarterfinals, Stags had a lead as many as 16, and the Panthers came back to win that one. So you can't stay complacent here.
Obviously, great scrappy defense as that one blocked, as the Panthers now pushing the pace. Cruz Billings looking at his options.
Billings up top, Damian in stride, 4-3, a little strong on that one. Schulte fighting for the rebound, but looks like they're going to get him on the foul. It's going to be his first.
Would be correct on that. Just his first personal. Only 6 fouls for the Panthers in this first half. Just a couple of days ago, we saw them closer to 10. As you can see, that field goal percentage, Chapman shooting just under 50% on the day.
I'll take that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you're a fan, you're pretty happy with that number, but you're only hoping that it goes up, as they've gone a little bit cold here in these last couple minutes.
That's Will King in the bucket to go his first of the afternoon. Lead cut to 16, just under 3 minutes left to go in this first half. Blakely Stone on the bench with 2 fouls. He's the second leading scorer for the Panthers so far. Robertson now with the ball. He is the leading scorer with 11. Working on Jones, down low, in corner, Billings, 4-3, it's good! Cruz Billings!
And if you could see me up in the booth, I am playing my 3-point guitar, because that's what the Panthers do. Obviously, they have been absolutely killer from beyond the arc, and Robertson setting up Billings so well there. The drive and kick perfected by Michael Jordan, making sure it works, and you can see that in action here is Josh Angle trying to find anything against Robertson.
Angle enters back in. That one doesn't touch anything. Jones comes up with the rebound. A little short jump shot for Connolly. Short on it. They retain possession still. Angle now inside to Connolly. Gets one off the ground. And Connolly gets that one to go.
If you want to talk about a defensive breakdown, you can watch that interaction, that play right there. Guys jumping all over the place, giving up offensive rebounds, letting Josh Angle work inside, but still not letting him score.
And Angle just 1 point off of the technical free throw. 0 of 3 on the afternoon. Also a couple fouls as that one out of bounds. They're going to say off Damian. Good defense, Will Hausholter. Andrew Ingles will enter in for Heberly, who will take a breath. 1:20 left to go in this first half.
I think that's a good call, going with a bit more height, a bit more size on the floor, especially you've only got a minute and 15 left. You can push for everything here, let it all out, leave it all on the gas. As you're about to get a nice long break at halftime, as Damian Adam put in the work. Is that one not going to fall for King?
Yeah, Adam Damian will pick up the foul there. It's going to be his second. So Will King now will go to the line. He's been pretty decent at the free throw line this season, 73% on the season. The Stags so far in this half after that make are now 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Panthers 4 of 5. Gotta love that. They missed their first one. They're 4 of 4 since, so that is definitely something to look up to if you're a Panther fan. As King can't connect there, Panthers will take over. Just about a minute left to go.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Cruz Billings has taken all of those free throws. So a great start for him, obviously struggling from the charity stripe earlier this season and starting to find his stride. Is that one from 3 is good. Connor Steck-Schulte.
That's got to feel good for Steck-Schulte there. He's on the board now. Panthers up 19, under a minute left to go.
Bit of a cool little note. Connor's from Danville, California, just like my name.
Oh. Out one, a little short there. King looking for a foul, as does Engel. He can't get anything to go this half. Now it's Cruz Billings, and it looks like they're going to head coach Mike Bokoski running down court, telling him, hold up for one more shot, and also screaming for a timeout. What a defensive masterclass. And I said in the pregame right now, as you can see, 11 of 20. That's outstanding. 55%, outstanding. But I said in the pregame, I thought this was going to be a low-scoring game between both of these teams, as they've both been pretty stoutful on defense this season. But wow, Dan, what an effort. Only 26 points allowed. CMS just shooting 33%. They've only attempted 3 threes. What more can you ask from this Panther squad?
I mean, there's really not much more if we're being completely honest. And I do want to make our viewers aware, Chapman scored only 21 points in the first half against Occidental. We're now currently at 45, and if you're wondering, oh, how did the Panthers finish? They finished with 51, so they will be just shy of that moment for the whole game, as we're going to take a look at one final replay here for the first half.
It's going to be Cruz Billings from the street into the corner, and just an outstanding shot. His only field goal so far. So far this half, he is at 9 points, 4 of those coming from the charity stripe, but really good job from Billings.
And that one from Connor Steck-Schulte we saw earlier, that one was absolutely perfect. As now Cruz Billings with the ball. He's looking for the last shot.
Got 10 on the clock here. Billings with Jones on him. They do got a foul to give, and they'll give it right there. So the next foul would put the Panthers at the free throw line, putting them in the bonus now. Both teams in the bonus. Just 8 seconds left to go, though.
No, we had some technical difficulties there, but you just missed him dribbling the ball a little bit. Is now Robertson with the ball. Maybe
4
looking
on
for
the
the last
clock.
shot.
Robertson a little short on that one. Scramble for the ball, and that will end the first half. Panthers will go into the locker room leading the CMS Stags 45-26. An absolute clinic from the Panthers, especially from behind the arc, Dan. 11 of 20. That is more made three-point shots than they had the entire last game, folks. What an effort. What more can you ask of them?
I mean, really not much else. Obviously, this team is working well on offense, whether it's in transition or in their half-court set, but I want to highlight Cruz Billings. Obviously, always in the outlet, finding his people, and obviously just being a general on the court.
Yeah, so just what a great job from both these teams. And we're going to hear from Chapman's own coach, Dan Krikorian. We're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Brianna Tovar, with that interview.
Okay, got it. We're here at halftime with Coach Dan. Thank you for meeting with us today. Just wanted to ask, coming off the loss of this last game, what do you look to improve on, in this game moving forward?
Yeah, I think we're a new team trying to figure each other out, and we wanted to come out today and just play hard, work on being unselfish, share the ball, and so far so good, but it's a long game. Claremont's a really good team, so we got to keep it up in the second half.
Thank you so much. And also, your team has shot lights out from 3 today. What has contributed to that success?
Well, sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't. Luckily, right now it is, but like we said, it's a long game, 2 halves, so hopefully we can keep it up in the second half.
Thank you so much, Coach. Feel free, go ahead. So back to the booth. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for that interview, Brianna. And, Dan, one thing to mention that Coach Dan said is that it's a long game, that he knows CMS is a good team, that basketball, it's a game of runs. You got to keep your foot on the gas here coming into that second half.
That's right, but it's always awesome to hear from Coach Krikorian. Obviously, the host of his own podcast, Slapping Glass. You can find that on all podcast services and listen wherever you listen to your podcast. But obviously, like he said, he didn't have too many praises to say. He likes to keep it simple and likes to say, you know what, we're doing well so far, but we're not giving up yet.
Yeah, and for those of you who like numbers, we're going to take a look at some numbers here to take a look at the comparison between both teams in this half. And look at that. Free throws, you got to love that for the Panthers. Neither team is really fouling the other team. Lots of contact, but no calls. I like that, if you're going to ask me. And sharing the rock, 10 assists. This Panther team came in this game just 13 assists per game. They're almost at that in one half. And, of course, like we've seen, the three-point shooting, 11 of 20. Can't ask for more there.
Yeah, and obviously keeping the Stags away from beyond the arc, only going with 3 attempts in the first half. I mean, you can't ask for much more defensively, as now we're going to take a look at some of those highlights, some of those awesome plays that we saw here in the first half, courtesy of our highlight package team, and there was a whole lot of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this Panther team just was lighting up all across. You see the steal from Blakely Stowen. Just great job from them. Kicking out Jake Heberly. Just an outstanding job. They're playing team basketball. It's not one guy. It's this entire team. Adam Damian, both sides of the court. He's showing his full force out today.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite things to say was watch him get a block and then come on the other side and drain a three. He had a couple of those 11 that we saw in this first half. But if you look at this team, even after a great play, even after a good make, it's right back into the game mode. There is no celebration. There's nothing else going on. It's just getting right back to it.
Yeah, and you saw there Rhett Carter, leading scorer for the Stags so far with 8. But McKellery Robertson, what a first half from him. Great to see him bouncing back from the struggles right there. Just what a great job seeing him come back from that first half. But, I mean, what more can you ask from this Panther squad? Up 19 in this, going into the next half. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
I'm loving what I'm seeing too, but obviously I'm loving seeing McKellery Robertson come back out in this game. Obviously a rough one against Oxygen, we mentioned it earlier, but coming out and shooting lights out from three-point line and then making options for his teammates, dishing the rock. So it's honestly just the best to see.
Yeah, and as we mentioned about Rhett Carter, he's the leading scorer for the Panthers, or for the Stags, and then for the Panthers, of course, like we also mentioned, Hillary Robertson. Both of these guys are going to look to carry their offenses in that second half. Panthers have done a good job extinguishing the fire that is Josh Engel's jump shot. So got to continue that. You can't let him get hot, and look to put up a great win to here.
Yeah, obviously Josh Engel, somewhat of a non-factor that we saw in the first half. We talked about in the pregame averaging 20 points, and I don't know if he's going to have 20 in the second half. Not sure if he's going to make that average, but it's been an interesting thing to see. I'm sure the coaches are mentioning and making sure that Josh Engel is not becoming an offensive weapon for the Stags so far if you're on the Panther side.
Yeah, it was an amazing first half, and we can't wait to see what the second half has in store for both of these teams. Make sure to continue watching us on YouTube, on Skyac Network, wherever you are. Make sure to follow us at all sorts of social medias. We got Twitter, we got Instagram, we have a TikTok.
We're
trying to get TikTok famous here, but at CSBN Live, go make sure to follow us right there. You can see all the content that we produce throughout the week, throughout the year. We can't wait what we have more in store for the rest of this school year.
That's right, Steven. And we're going to take a short break for this halftime break and come back to you with all the action here on the Skyac Network and all of our socials at CSBN Live. We'll catch you soon.
Get it, don't mind it. Ay, back with a vengeance, back on the grinds, back to the business. Ay, God is my witness, they watching my moves like shows they binging. Ay, best keep distance, all of my haters send best of wishes. I get to the bag with the quickness. No, I don't need no assistance. No, yeah, no playing it safe. I said let's get it. You say not today. What can I say? If you ain't gon' go for it, get out the way. Yeah, got no time to waste. Can't be with me if you're not at my pace. You're not at my level, you're not in my race. One foot on the gas, I'm pushing the brakes. You dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Saw they be scheming and said adios. Yeah, I gotta get it. Get it, don't mind it. I gotta get it, don't mind it. I gotta get it, don't mind it. From the
We'd like to welcome you back here at Hutton Sports Center. Chapman University up 45-26 after a firework level performance from three-point land from our Panthers versus the CMS Stags.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great first half to watch as a commentator up in the booth, but I'm sure you all enjoyed it on your couches or maybe in your car, wherever you're watching around the world. But obviously, it's a great start if you're a Panther fan, but if you're the Stags, you've got some work to do coming into the second half.
Yeah, especially Josh Engel's got to get it going. 18 of 20 minutes played that half, just 1 point to show. And that came from a technical free throw. So without that flopping technical we saw from Andrew Ingles, he doesn't have a point in that first half. If you're a Panther fan, coach, player, you cannot be more happy than that. Or here we are as we get set, ready to go. Cruz Billings will bring the ball up. Once again, my name is Stephen Hoogenkamp. I'm your play-by-play, and I've been joined by the outstanding color commentator, Dan Batson.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephen. As now we're going to see if Blakely Stoughton, Cruz Billings, our key players for the Panthers, can really show why, as we've seen Robertson be all over the court tonight as Damien takes that one, and that one will go off as Rhett Carter brings it down.
Yeah, a little strong on that one. Cruz Billings almost get that one and smacked off the rim. But they're going to call a foul on Adam Damien. That was Josh Engel going up right there.
And Damien was not happy after that call. It seemed like he thought maybe no contact was made and it was a clean block, but now Josh Engel can have an opportunity for two at the line. His 1 point, like you said, only coming from the charity stripe.
Yeah, Engel 77% from the line. A little fun fact about Josh Engel that we found is his mother, after Josh Engel was born and after she received her pediatric degree, played 2 years in junior college basketball at Mount Hood Community College. I mean, that is a workhorse right there, and you can see it in her son here.
Well, shout out Mrs. Engel as Josh Engel makes the second free throw, and the Panthers look to extend their lead now.
There's Cruz Billings after Engel goes 1 of 2 from the line. Now Robertson. Eberle now. Give and go to Robertson. Tough shot. Gets the roll in. McKillery Robertson picking up where he left off.
And you can hear the bench yelling and one, looking for the call there as McKillery Robertson finishing.
As Blakely Stoughton steal, slam down low. Blakely Stoughton with some emphatism.
Wow, wow, wee wah. Blakely Stoughton, that's what you want to see coming out of halftime, bringing the energy as Josh Engel can't even dribble against Robertson.
You love to see the Panthers come out with the exact same energy as Carter looking low for Engel, can't find him, and they're going to give that foul to Jake Eberle right there. It's going to be his first, but great defense, transition, easy offense for Blakely Stoughton.
Obviously, you don't want to give up fouls like this. It's the second already in the first minute and a half, and foul trouble has been an issue that we've seen in past games here for the Panthers, and they started well in this first half, but don't want to slack off at all here, as they're going to call another on Robertson there. Say he got a little bit more of the arm than the ball there, as that one's tipped out of bounds.
It's going to be his second foul. You see Robertson trying to plead his case right there. He's played really tight D early, very early on in this second quarter. You love to see the effort, but gotta be a little careful, especially Engel's not gonna shoot that because, not to use his name, that's not a good angle for a shot in that corner.
That is quite true, as now the foul is gonna be called on
Will King.
Yeah, number 14 there, King. Looks like maybe a moving screen against Robertson there as he hit the deck.
Yeah, so already 4 fouls called in just a minute and a half here to start this second half. Both teams, they want to pick up that intensity where they left off in that first half. So here's Robertson, back up top to Billings. Billings loses the ball for a second, working on King, finds Robertson, corner, no hesitation, he connects!
I mean, there's just nothing that this Stags team can do to stop McKillery Robertson right now. He's everywhere. He's locked down Josh Engel for the majority of this game, and it seems like every time he touches the ball, it's going to the bottom of the net.
That's Carter missing it. Scramble for the ball. Carter gets his own rebound. Engel now. 3 Panthers converge on him. Finds Jones in the corner, and he gets that one. Kalen Jones
That's a great shot from Jones there. Obviously, no hesitation like we've been talking about. Knew he had an open shot, and now the Panthers look to redeem themselves on this side of the court as that ball was lost there by McKillary Robertson.
Good job on Robertson staying with that. Now Heberly working down low, through contact, can't get it to go. Now the Stags on the push. They got a man up, gets inside into Fry, and he's short on the wide open layup.
And you know, as a kid, I used to go to Chapman basketball camps and learn from Coach Bukowski, and growing up, I used to play, but he always told me never be short when you're finishing in the paint, and the Stags may need to take that same advice.
Just about 13 on the shot clock. Robertson, Stoughton in the corner. He's got King on him. No help defense for King. Outside, Robertson, 4-3. Can't get that one to go. What seemed like Robertson's first miss, as they're going to get a foul there. Looks like it's going to be on the Stags. Oh, no, they're actually going to call that one on Heberly. It's a little too much contact down low. As Reed Jones will enter in for the Stags. James Fry will exit.
4 fouls in just over 3 minutes here for the Panthers. Not the best start, especially going down the line. You don't want to be in foul trouble when maybe you're looking to get a lead.
You want to make the Stags earn their buckets, as this is good feed from Engel, but a little too good of a feed as Carter wasn't even expecting it. Turnover Stags.
Now the Panthers can look to milk the clock a little bit more, obviously leading by 22 points, but it seems like that's not the case. They really just want to layer it on here.
Good feed, backdoor Damien to Billings. Outside, Heberly, 3. Plata! Jake Heberly!
I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say anymore because, like I've said, the Stags don't have an answer for this. It seems like they really can't find a way to stop the three-point, as that one's going to get good for Carter, but you just know the Panthers going to come down and find an open man beyond the arc.
Yeah, Carter now to 11 points. Heberly 4 of 5 from behind the arc to go with his 12 points. That's Robertson. It's good! McKillary Robertson, another 3-point.
I'm tempted to just walk away from the booth. This is the most outstanding performance we've seen from this team this season so far, as now the Stags, their only option is to go to Carter in the paint as they're running this smaller ball, but it just doesn't even seem worth it.
I mean, we heard what assistant coach Dan Krikorian said. Sometimes the ball just goes in, and if you're the Stags, that's the only thing you can say. Because Panthers, right now, 14 of 24 from 3. Here's another one. That one's long. Heberly, though, with a rebound. Ball gets away from Stoughton. Stags on the attack now. This is King working on the smaller. Billings can't get to go, but the tip in for Kalen Jones.
Cruz Billings with some good defense there. Obviously, bit of a size difference, and on the transition, stayed on his feet and forced a miss, but there was no follow-up there for the rebound, as now the Panthers, back in their half-court set, they've had great success in it so far.
This is Damien now working down low through contact and gets it to go. That is just pure raw strength from Adam Damien.
Yeah, we're talking about the weight room. Adam Damien, like we said, from Danville, California as well. And maybe I got to take a visit. Maybe I'd be like royalty or something.
This is Josh Engel, and he gets that one to go. First field goal for him in just 4 attempts. Now at 4 points on the afternoon.
Made that shot through. Probably the heaviest contest that we've seen today is now Josh Engel with the steal. Reed Jones pushing the paces. Kalen
hard contact, no call.
Not sure about that one. Obviously, Kalen Jones hits the deck, and maybe he tripped, but
that's Stoughton for 3. It's good. Blakely Stoughton for 3. 13 points.
This is insane. This is not right. The Panthers now giving another foul on Josh Engel, as that's going to bring us to our first media timeout.
I mean, we thought we've never seen a team as hot as we saw the Panthers from behind the arc in the first half. Well, guess what, Dan? They're the exact same this half. They're 4 of 6 from behind the arc. On the day, 15 of 26. 57%. They're making more than half of their 3-point shots today. How do you defend that?
I'm really not sure. I mean, the Stags have been playing this kind of zone defense all day, and it seems like the Panthers are aware of that, and they know that if they keep just doing it, they'll keep pounding the threes. So, maybe the Stags do move to a man defense, but it does seem like the Panthers have more speed. So I think if they do switch to a man, they'll try to attack the paint more, but it'll be interesting to see.
And we saw in the beginning, Panthers, when they attack down low, the Stags kicked out. They're forcing the Panthers to take those three-point shots. Panthers are getting those three-point shots. And then on the defensive side, as you see in this replay, especially Adam Damian, just what an effort from him tonight. He has 2 steals, a block, and look at him on the offensive side through contact. I mean, that is, like we said, that is just strength. That is him going to the weight room, getting those extra days of work. You love to see that as a coach, as a fan, just as a person.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I'd also have to say he does got some pretty fire hair. He's got some nice bounce on the run back, and I would say it may be a strength. Not sure a strength for basketball, of course, but I think the hair maybe does play a factor in the swag.
So Connor Steck-Schulte and Andrew Ingles will check in for the Panthers, as well as Kyle Connolly for the Stags. Connolly working down on Ingles. He's had success in the first half, none there. Fight for the board, Ingles comes down with it.
And that's good defense. Cahal seemed to have no answer for him in the paint, but now Ingles standing up straight, putting the hands up, and made sure he didn't have an option there.
Panthers leading by 25, looking to extend it to their biggest lead of the day. Ingles outside, Robertson, pull-up jump shot. He gets that one to go. That's pure.
I'm just shaking my head. I mean, there is no defender on this Stags team that can match up with McKillery Robertson in any way, shape, or form. Has another foul called on Heberly this time. That's his 3rd personal foul, and now the 6th for the Panthers. Josh Engel really drawing a lot of fouls here.
Yeah, so the next foul would put the Stags in the bonus, and we're still 13 minutes left to go in this game. But going back to McKillery Robertson, he must have heard criticism he may have received after that game against Occidental. He is now up to 21 on the afternoon and counting. As here he is taking the ball up court after the miss. Panthers now at their biggest lead of the afternoon at 27 points. This is a statement game for the Panthers. They're looking to show that they mean serious business.
Robertson almost lost it there. Gets his dribble back, and now the Panthers looking to attack from beyond the arc.
Got 6 on the clock. Stoughton rolling inside. Can't get the roll in. Stags now on the attack. King. Fake the give to Engel. Working inside on Steck-Schulte and gets that one to go.
King says that's how you make a layup. You go up with the hand. You keep the fundamentals. I don't do none of that finger roll, anything like that. And now the Panthers back in their half-court set. Lots of movement off the ball as Josh Engel with another steal. Now Reed Jones in transition as he gets to a stop and
misses
blows the layup there.
They do get the foul, though, as James Fry was able to collect that. Got Ingles off his feet. It's going to take us to another media timeout. It looks like Lewis, Billings, and Damian will all enter in for the Panthers, but up 25 points. However, if you're the Stags trying to mount a comeback, you have what you want. You are in the bonus right now with almost 12 minutes left to go, meaning any foul will put you at the free throw line, which they've been pretty decent today, 6 of 9. But the difference in three-point shots, Chapman, 15 of 26. CMS, only 4 attempts, all coming from Kalen Jones, and they knocked down 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't seem like a team that really likes to shoot from beyond the arc. Obviously, they've got some big dudes down there. We're talking about not just height, but size. They've got some muscle, and they can really attack the rim there. And I'm not sure about how Josh Engel usually really plays his game, but it seems like he really likes to take those mid-range jumpers when he's getting the ball off the motion, where there's a screen set for him by Connolly. But it doesn't really seem like he likes to shoot the 3-ball at all. We haven't seen too much from him tonight, of course, because of McKillery Robertson just locking him down on defense. But if you're coming out of this media timeout, you're up 25 points if you're a Panther fan. But if you're the Stags, we've got a bit of work to do.
And you see Engel on your screen right there. It's just 4 points on the afternoon. 1 of 4 from the field. He got his first field goal made this half. So Chapman has really done a good job taking him out of the game plan for the Stags, as Fry is now at the line for 2. 80% this season. He's been a very reliable shooter here.
And that one's going to go for Fry as he's trying to cut this lead down bit by bit. That's all you can really do.
He's the only underclassman in their starting lineup, being the sophomore. So he'll exit right there. Kalen Jones will enter back in for the Panthers. Looks like we're going to get another late substitution from Coach Scal, maybe, trying to get Rhett Carter in. Little miscommunication, but they're going to wait for him right there. Cruz Billings will bring the ball up. 11:40 left to go in this game. Chapman leading 65-42. Good backdoor feed. Billings, corner. Now it's Steck Schulte. Back to Billings, 4-3. Can't get that one to go. Struggled so far shooting on the day. Just 2 of 7 now. As this is King working down low, can't get it to go. Good defense once again, Adam Danian.
Yeah, it looked like he may have got a hand on that one, but Cruz Billings had a great look at the rim there, maybe a reverse lay, but decided to pass to his teammates. That just goes to show the unselfishness there, but always looking for the best shot. That's what you want that's what you want in your point guard. Is now Kyle Lewis steps onto the court and maybe has an opportunity to put up some shots like the rest of them.
As Ingles mishandles the ball right there, he'll turn it over. Stags now will take over, trying to cut this lead down as that one's connected. Kalen Jones, all 3-pointers for them today.
And with a hand in his face. It looked like he was completely unfazed by the contest there, as seems like we have Heberly and Stoughton looking to check in as Adam Damian pulls up from 3. That one's short, but the rebound to Steck Schulte.
Now Kyle Lewis, back to Steck Schulte, corner 3. Can't get that one. King will collect the rebound. You saw that graphic, 22 to 12 points in the paint in favor of the Stags. Panthers really getting the majority of their points from beyond the arc, as we've mentioned. 45 of those 65 points coming from there. Panthers looking to reset. Billings up top.
Panthers missed their last 3 opportunities from three-point land, but they're not shying away from it at all.
Steck Schulte now. Back up top to Billings. Just 10 on the shot clock here for Cruz. Getting doubled from Connolly. He'll just pull up himself. And a little strong on there. Body fly. That's Ingles. And they're going to call the foul on Cahal Connolly.
That's a good call. Obviously, maybe a little too physical down there. Connolly, as you can see, just absolutely defined. The cap shoulders looking ginormous, as now Cruz Billings is looking to see who's got on court now with, looks like Stoughton and Heberly subbing back on. This is their 3-point shooting core.
And Rhett Carter also entering in for the Stags for Connolly. Here's Stoughton. 3 of 4 on the afternoon from 3. Hands it off to Heberly. Stoughton gets him off his ground. Up top, Heberly, 4-3. Connects! Jake Heberly!
There's just really not much more that I can say from a color standpoint. Like I said, brought in the 3-point core, kicking, driving, finding an option, and then looking for the best shot. Heberly had it wide open from 3 as Reed Jones is going to say there was probably a foul on the ground there.
Yeah, there's sign did not come on the shot. However, because they're in the bonus, Reed Jones will go to the line for a 1-and-1 as Connor Steck Schulte exits, and enter in is McKellery Robertson. So the starting 5 back on the court for the Panthers. A starting 5 that has done absolute amazing work today.
Yeah, and McKellery Robertson gets a much needed breather. And obviously, I would expect him to play the last 9 minutes of this game, especially on Josh Engel. We've seen him lock him down for the majority of this game, and you know, even in the half-court set, even in transition, he just really hasn't found his stride at all today.
So Panthers up 68-47, 9 minutes to go in this game. It's been all Panthers from the start. Stoughton, no hesitation, 4-3, connects. Blakely Stoughton again from 3.
I mean, if we're talking about them making these shots and saying money, they're putting it in the cash register and it is overflowing. I don't even think the drawer comes out anymore because they've made too many three-pointers.
That's now 5 3-point shots made for Stoughton. He's now one of 3 Chapman players with 5 made threes.
Rhett Carter looking a little bit like Kareem there, taking 2 steps and hooking over the head. It's cool to see the big men for the Stags not giving up any space in the paint and making sure their presence is known. Obviously dominating that points in the paint section, but shout out to Carter and Connolly, just absolutely dominating down there.
This is Heberly now. Got triple teamed, and they're going to call a foul here. Looks like that might be on Kaylin Jones, number 11. No, actually, they're going to call that on number 5, Reed Jones. It's going to be Jones' second. Jones also one of the key players for the Stags that's also struggled like Josh Engel. Just 4 points, all of them coming from the free throw line. So he and Engel combined for just 8 points this afternoon. This is Damian now. Kicks it back out. Robertson. Engel playing tough D on him. Corner. Heberly, 3. A little long on that one. Stags will collect. They got to push the pace. Just under 8 minutes left to go. Trailing by 22. King out to Jones. That's going to be a 2, it looks like, and it rims out. Panthers take over again.
We talked about no hesitation for the Panthers. Reed Jones with some obvious hesitation there. Kind of almost pump faked it and came back down with it. And, you know, I think that might be one of the reasons why not too many are falling for him today.
Jones now over 3 on the day. Tough afternoon as Kellery Robertson, little long on that one. We like that step back, but here's Josh Engel, who will lay that easy layup in. Does not get easier than that. Yeah, they're going to call a timeout right there. Chapman up 20 points, but seemingly like they're getting a little too 3-point happy. You know, it's 7 minutes ago and a 20-point lead. The biggest thing is taking off that time. You still want to get a good shot, but you don't want to be shooting too early in that shot clock.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you get 30 seconds each time you're inbounding the ball. Whether it's a make, whether it's a miss, it's 30 seconds off the clock. And from a pure statistics standpoint, with a 20-point lead, you're making it pretty tough for the Stags if you're taking your time each time you get in that half-court set, especially if they're not deciding to full-court press at all. We've just seen this zone defense, and let's take a look at why the Panthers have this 20-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jake Heberly right here on this 3-point shot. As mentioned, one of 3 players with 5 3-point shots lead. It's right up top. That zone defense, they're having trouble sticking to a man, and Heberly making them pay. 5 of 7 on the afternoon from 3, going 15 points, also 8 rebounds to collect. He's just been an outstanding player for the Panthers, the sophomore.
And it's pretty amazing to hear that he's just a sophomore. He'll probably be in this program for at least 2 more years, and we're going to see Jake Heberly a lot more on the court. So pretty cool to see. We've got a bit of a young core growing here, obviously. Heberly, Billings, both sophomores. Both guys were getting a lot of time on the court. As you can see, 16 assists for the Panthers, only 9 for the Stags as we enter the last 7 minutes of this game, as they're pretty equal on turnovers as well. We talked about that in the pregame show. Double-digit turnovers, never something fun to look at. But as long as you're not getting to 15, I think we're doing pretty okay.
And the transfer portals really served the Panthers well. Both McKellery Robertson coming from Azusa Pacific, and then also Adam Damian coming from George Fox. They're utilizing what we see a lot more in college athletes say, that transfer portal to really build that core of team. Here's Damian for 3. Can't get that one to go. Collected by King. Stags on the push. King, they're going to get a foul on Stoughton. That's going to be Stoughton's 3rd of the game.
And he was not happy about that one. Obviously, as soon as the whistle was blown, he kind of shrugged his shoulders, hands in the air, and said, I thought that one was all ball, ref. And unfortunately for him, it didn't look the same way as now another timeout.
I think just to talk things over, I think what head coach Bokowski is going to tell his team is, once again, that same message that we talked about in that first half when they got out to that big lead really quickly. You can't become complacent. Leads in basketball can evaporate at the snap of a finger. It's a game of runs. You can't get out of your game plan. Stick to that game plan and you'll come out victoriously. And for the Stags here, they really got to push the pace on offense. It hasn't been Josh Engel's night, hasn't been Reed Jones' night. It's been Rhett Carter and Kalen Jones. Get them in rhythm. Kalen Jones, 3 of 5 from behind the arc. Screen him up for open three-point shots. He'll knock those down. You can get back into this game as quick as possible.
You're exactly right about that, Steven. Obviously, Coach Scal got to be aware of the fact that Kalen and Carter are going to be your guys, and even Conley at some points too. He's been, a force down there in the paint, but I think a lot of it comes down to this zone defense that they're running. Maybe it's the only defense that they run. Maybe they're not playing a whole lot of man, but this is kind of those moments like we're talking about. For Kalen, let's take a look at one of his last three-pointers here on our CSBN replay. I mean, this was just kind of a moment where even through the contest from Damian, it was just wet like water.
Yeah, and we saw in their game on Wednesday, Occidental ran a 2-3 zone versus them, and the Panthers, the shots weren't falling that day. 8 of 31 from threes. Today, 17 of 35, a completely different game, and we can see that on the scoreboard right now as King misses the first one.
And these are the moments where you need to be knocking down the free throws. I mean, this is it. This is crunch time. You're still down 20. Even those 1-point free throws, they add up. They make it worth it.
Yeah, King normally a decent free throw shooter. The Colby College transfer, 73% on the season, but just going 1 of 2 there. Chapman up 19 now. Is Billings working on angle. Gives it to Robertson. Just 10 on the shot clock here. Robertson back out to Billings. Shot clock now down to 5. Little swing it to the corner. Stowen for 3. Long on that one. Fight for the rebound. Panthers regain possession. Let's see if they'll slow it up here as they do. Really good rebound from Adam Damian right there.
Obviously a great play from Billings, and like we said, that's 30 seconds off the clock, and now they get a whole nother possession as Cruz Billings trying to attack the paint, and Carter picks it up as another turnover from Josh Engel.
Turnover to turnover right there is now Heberly, reverse layup. What magic, Jake Heberly.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, if you want to talk about swagger, Jake Heberly's got an abundance of it there on that leg.
Yeah, his only field goals today before that have been behind the arc, and he's showing the Stag, hey, I can shoot it down low too, as Josh Engel collects 2 points down low here, getting his total up to 8 now.
Obviously using the size advantage there on Robertson, got a couple of inches on him, but like you said, only his 8th point of the night when he's averaging 22. As we're entering, the last couple minutes here is Damian rising to the occasion and laying that one in. Just a quick and easy bucket there for him.
Damian now up to 7 points, but it's really been his effort on the defensive side. He has caused a lot of issues for this CMS Stags team. It's here Engel now working on Robertson, and they're going to call the foul on him. He didn't like that because it looked to me like Josh Engel kind of hooked around him, but you can see the disagreement on his face.
This team has fought. This has been a physical game so far. We're entering just the last 5 minutes of tonight's game, but Josh Engel, even though he's been, pretty cold from offense, he's been on the floor almost all night. Not taking too many steps off the court. And you can see that. The fatigue is setting in, but he's making the free throws. That's all that you can really count on. But, Josh Engel maybe just needs a little bit of a break on the bench for a little bit and then come back in and finish strong for these last 5 minutes.
Yeah, averaging about 36 minutes a game. He's only sat 2 minutes so far in this afternoon. And you do the math, he stays in the rest of the game. That's 38 minutes on the court, continuously running up and down, continuously having Hillary Robertson in his face.
Yeah, and me personally would not like to have that, obviously, making your dribbling, your offense pretty terrible as that one's up. Heberly rims out that time.
19-point game here. Here's James Fry down low. Can't get it to go. The tip in, though, from Kalen Jones. Now up to 15 on the afternoon.
And that's a great effort on those second chance buckets. Kalen Jones and a couple of other guys still going up for the rebound, but just tipping it back in is now Reed Jones fouls Cruz Billings. And they look to be getting up in each other's face a little bit, and they're going to tee up Cruz Billings.
I mean, don't want to see that if you're head coach Mike Bokoski. Jones got in Billings' face, but really good job from Jones. Getting into Billings' head, both just sophomore and a freshman. Billings obviously did not like that call, and you don't want that as a Panther fan. You don't want to give the Stags any opportunity at free points. And we mentioned in the pregame, game's getting a little chippy right now, but we mentioned these two teams do not like each other. We liked the physicality we've seen today. So we check in and see that replay as Engel's at the line. Little foul right there, and Jones just got in the face of Billings.
Yeah, maybe a little chit chat there between the two competitors, but seems like after the technical, still keeping it sportsmanlike. He's trying their best to, but like you said, this game getting a little chippy now, but the Panthers have been in the driver's seat this whole time.
A little miscommunication on whose ball it is.
Well, usually after technical foul, you do get possession, so I would believe the Stags will have possession this time.
So the Stags will now have the ball, as the refs discuss still. 15-point game. Stags have really closed in on this lead in this second half, especially in the last couple minutes. Went into halftime, down 19. Now it's just a 15-point lead. Chapman has led by as many as 27. So the Stags will remain with possession here after the technical foul on Cruz Billings. So here we go. 4:20 left to go. It's Kalen Jones up top, down low into Engel. Got Heberly on him, looking for the turnaround. Can't, will give it to Fry. Turnaround jumper, pure right there, James Fry.
And now you can see the Stags bench getting into it a little bit more. And you talk about energy, you talk about momentum. This is what you need.
And you
gotta have it, gotta have that momentum, like you said.
Gotta think Reed Jones is gonna continuously get in the grill of Cruz Billings. Here's Fry on Billings, and Jones trying to rip the steal up top. Stoughton, three, cash! Blakely Stoughton!
Cha-ching, said that so many times tonight. Blakely Stoughton absolutely lights out as Josh Engel gets to the rim and is good for two.
Quick bucket right there. Very necessary for the Stags. They need quick buckets, and they need to hold the Panthers scoreless. We're just 3 minutes left to go. Panthers up 14 here.
Now Cruz Billings with possession. Maybe see if they can activate McKillary Robertson again. He hasn't had a lot of looks since he's been checked back into this game as he attacks the paint and draws a foul.
Looks like they're gonna get James Fry for that one. Just be his first of the afternoon. Take us to a media timeout here. And Dan, I mean, that shot from Stoughton was a much needed one from him. And this team, because we saw the bench for CMS, they're starting to get into it. We saw the technical foul, then they get the bucket. They're starting to get that momentum, and Stoughton saying, okay, guys, let's calm down. Let me show you what my game's about, draining that three-point shot.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, it's a momentum shifter. Obviously, you drain the three. You show them that they still can't guard you at all, as we're going to have a replay showing just how the Panthers have been in the driver's seat all game long. I mean, Blakely Stoughton, that's a pure stroke. I mean, no rim was touching on that one, and that's been his shot all night long. So it'll be important to see if the CMS Stags go to practice after this and say, hey, maybe we run a man defense against the Panthers later on this year, as I'm sure they'll meet each other again later down the line, whether that be in SCIAC play or the SCIAC championships.
Yeah, we saw, on Wednesday, like we mentioned, Panthers saw another zone defense, and the three-point shots weren't hitting. You got to think if CMS saw that and we're like, this is a weakness we think we can exploit. The only difference today, the Panthers' three-point shots, as Dan Krikorian says, sometimes they just fall. Billings will check the ball in. 3:01 left to go. 78-64. It's been all Panthers all day. Don't forget to continue watching just shortly after the conclusion here. There'll be the Chapman women's basketball team. They'll be hosting the CMS Athenas in that contest. Should be another amazing matchup as this one is. This is Robertson working down low. Dan, I think he heard you. I think he wants to get back to work.
I think he does too, and that just goes to show how mobile Robertson is and how versatile he is. He can shoot the ball, he can attack the paint and finish at the rim even through a bigger defender, as that one is gonna be a Panther ball. And now the crowd getting into it after the tech, after that turnaround. It seems like the crowd is like, okay, let's cheer them on. Let's give them that energy they need to finish strong.
Yeah, you could start to feel the energy for the Panthers crossing the 80-point mark. They've struggled so far offensively getting into rhythm this season. Just 71, just under 72 points a game. Already up to 80 here is Billings. McKillery Robertson, 4-3. Can't get that one. Fight for the rebound. We're going to get a whistle. That's going to be a foul on the Panthers.
Not entirely sure where the call was there or on who, but
Did ball go? Ball. It's hard angle from the broadcast booth. Ball may have bounced over the rim right there or over the backboard, but here we go. 80-64, just crossing the 2-minute mark. Panthers have played an outstanding game on both offensive and defensive side, as that one can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Damian collects that one. Good job from Jake Eberly saving it.
Cruz Billings now taking his time. He knows the clock is ticking down, as Kalen Jones obviously unhappy, slapping his thigh there, trying to find any way to get his team back in this game. He's been lights out all over the court as Cruz Billings draws another foul. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Panthers haven't had too many opportunities this game at the line, just 5 shots at the line, and all of them have come from Cruz Billings.
That's right.
And he missed this first one. He's been 4-4 since, so 4 or 5 on the day. And this Panther team that had 17 opportunities at the free throw line on Wednesday, they're going to have a minimum of just 7 right here after Billings shoots this next one.
Coach Bukowski looking pretty happy as McKillery Robertson seems to check out for the last time. He's going to take his well-deserved seat. He has been all over the court tonight for the Panthers, and quite honestly, probably the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. 23 points, 5 of 11. He spent the 34 minutes he was on the court guarding one of the best players in all of Division III in Josh Engel, holding Engel to 14 points, but 13 of those coming in this second half. It's been a McKillery Robertson showtime today.
There you go. That's right.
Found the word.
You know, maybe that could be, something he could make. I mean, the McKillery Robertson show. I would tune in for sure.
So just over a minute left to go. Connor Steck-Schulte, Kyle Lewis, and Andrew Ingles, new substitutions for the Panthers. As going up there is number 22, Will Hausholter, getting that one to go.
You know, we haven't seen too much of Kyle Lewis here, but he's subbed on and been here for the Panthers for a little bit, but now looking like a
little confusing with what they're trying to call a timeout. It looks like Chapman wants to get a couple new faces in. One of them being number 32, Murphy KFO, and number 20, Tyler Dudo.
Big Murph. Haven't seen Murph out here at all today, but now we get the opportunity to see the big man maybe work his magic down low.
Got to think the Panthers are just going to try to waste as much time as possible. That'll be a foul right there. They're going to get on number 13, Luke Jacobson, newly checked in Stag player, sophomore out of out of Glendora, California.
And Murphy going 1-1 here.
A little short on that one. We want to continue watching Chapman men's basketball this season. Their next game will be this Thursday against Stanton University at home. And for the CMS Stags, they'll continue their season also next Thursday, and they'll host the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen in that one. Another SCIAC game there. They're just going to hold this ball here. About a 4 or 5 second difference between the shot clock. Panthers will get their first win in SCIAC play this season. Will go to 1-1 in SCIAC play, 4-2 overall. As for the Stags, they'll fall to 2-4, their 4th consecutive loss of the season. And they'll look to bounce back from this loss against the Kingsmen.
And now the Panthers are looking at their first win at home in front of a pretty good crowd. And of course, our Tier 1 broadcast team here at CSBN Live. As we can see, McKillary Robertson taking his rest on the bench, much needed. As the buzzer finally rings, the Panthers finally getting a W at home. They've been looking for it as this season has opened up, and as the teams go to shake hands, I mean, Steven, this was a pleasure to call. This is you can't really ask for much more.
Oh no, this game was such an amazing game to call. So much action going on. I mean, the Panthers just were insane. 18 three-pointers made. You can't ask for more. And if they continue to shoot like this, it will be very hard to beat them with the intensity they bring on the defensive side. McKillary Robertson, we've said his name numerous times on this broadcast. Amazing comeback game from the one he had on Wednesday. Look for him to continue this as the season goes along. But, Dan, it was a pleasure.
Yes, it surely was, and obviously it's even better to see the Panthers taking the W at home, but obviously there's a whole lot more season to play. We're about to go into finals week. It's going to get stressful, and then we get a little bit of a break, Christmas time, obviously spending it with the family, but then straight back into interterm when we get into even more SCIAC play.
Yeah, we got a lot more this season for the Panthers, but we also have a lot more today. Don't forget, we have another game, a part of this doubleheader special. Chapman women's basketball, and they'll be hosting the CMS Athenas. It's going to, once again, going to be an amazing game. See if the Panthers can get that, but we're going to send it down sideline to our sideline reporter, Brianna Tovar, for our interview of our MVP.
Warm up. Oh, no, I think we're good.
Okay, we are here with number 3, Robertson. Just a couple questions for you.
For sure.
You shot 50% from 3 in this game. What allowed you to have such success with that?
My teammates did a really good job of finding me tonight. They were playing really selfless. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't hit more of my shots, so we're just going to get right back in the gym to work on it.
Awesome. And then how do you plan on carrying this momentum from this game for the rest of the season today?
Just one day at a time, one practice at a time. Just taking it game by game. We lost a couple of nights ago kind of in an embarrassing fashion. Can't let that get to your head. Can't let a good win get to your head. So.
Thank you so much.
You so much.
Feel free to celebrate with your team. All right. Thank you. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you for that great interview, Brianna. And Dan, I really liked what he had to say. That is just no complacency with him. He always wants to get better, saying he's going to get back in the gym. And you see this, as I mentioned, 18 three-pointers made, and 5 of those coming just from McKillary Robertson. But like he said, you can't let a big win get into your head. They're going to get right back in the gym and get ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game overall, but Steven, like you said, we have a doubleheader here today. It's going to be another great game here at CSBN Live if you're watching on YouTube or on the SCIAC Network. We have the Chapman women's basketball team, the Panthers, facing off against the Claremont Mudscripts Athenas. Got a whole new crew for you. You know, I know you love seeing our faces, okay? We get it. Steven is a handsome-looking man. He's got a great voice, but we've got all new people, and they're so excited to prepare another broadcast for you all, and I think it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, don't forget, just about 28 minutes till that game tips off. But as for Dan Batson, I'm Stephen Hogenkamp. We had an amazing day with you today, and hope to see you next time on the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network.